Hey everybody, welcome back. Here with Muse Paint Bar to teach you how to create a full moon scarecrow painting. This is perfect if you're into the spooky season, and I'm gonna go over all my materials very quickly and then we'll jump right into it. So I am working with an 8x10 canvas panel. Of course, you can work with any size canvas you wish. My palette today is going to be blue, orange, yellow, white, and black. Now, if you don't have orange pre-mixed up, you can always mix up some yellow and red paint together. I have a water vessel to wash off my brushes and some paper towels to dry them off. Plus, I have 3 brushes I'm working with today. I have a large brush, a medium brush, and a small pointy brush. I'm just gonna keep them in my water for now. And lastly, I do have some mixing plates to mix up all my colors on so my palette stays nice and fresh. With that being said, let's get started. So we are going to mix up the background blue color. So I'm gonna be taking my large brush, and I'm gonna be grabbing a small dash of white and a big scoop of blue, and I'm gonna mix those up. I still want it to be fairly dark, nothing too pale. And the first thing that we're gonna do is draw a circle in the middle of our canvas. So I'm just gonna actually put my big brush to the side and grab my small brush. I'm gonna get into that paint, that blue paint. Now, circles are tricky. For this, I would say start with a really large circle and then you can work it down smaller and smaller as you go. So I'm just gonna start with a circle about this size. And then I'm going to work to perfect it, slowly bringing it closer to the size that I envision. All right, I like the way my circle looks, so I'm gonna work in to fill in the rest of my background with this blue. All right, next up, we're gonna be adding in some stars using some splatter paint. So I'm gonna be getting my small brush, nice and clean, getting a small bit of white on my mixing plate and adding a whole bunch of water to that paint. Now, I am not worried if my paint water is all colored or tinted, it will still turn out white. So once you have it to like a melted ice cream / milk-like consistency, you're simply just going to tap along the back of your brush. Give it a little tap to splatter the paint down. Okay, next up, we're gonna be getting into our moon. Now I'm gonna mix up the base color for my moon with my medium brush. I'm gonna grab a small dash of white, big scoop of yellow, and a very small amount of orange. I'm actually gonna grab some more white and more orange. I want it to be something around here. I'm just gonna take that color and fill in my whole moon first. Now, while that paint is still wet, we're gonna be adding little bits of orange kind of along these edges to get some craters in our moon. So I'm gonna start down here, bottom kind of right area, and then work out from there. I'm not going to ever get more orange paint on my brush. I'm simply just gonna work with what is already on my canvas or in my moon here. And there we go, we have some craters in our moon. So now we need to let our painting dry before we do anything else. Things will get really muddy if we put paint on top of wet paint. So give yourself about 10 to 15 minutes and then we'll come back together. All right, now that our painting is dry, we're gonna get to all the details on top. We're gonna focus on our scarecrow first. I am going to be using my small brush to be painting in all of these details. Now I'm gonna be working with just some black paint. First thing I want to do is identify where my scarecrow is going to be. So the scarecrows usually are dug into the ground by a stick. So I'm going to draw a line kind of up and to the left, here on the left side of my moon, right about here. All right. From there, we're going to be drawing just like a stick figure to begin with for our scarecrow. So I know that I want the head of my scarecrow to be right around here. So I'm going to draw a little circle. From there, I'm going to have his body come all the way down straight to that line, to that pole. His legs are going to come out to the sides of that pole. And his arms are going to go straight across just underneath of his head. So now we got the skeleton of our scarecrow. Now we're gonna go ahead and bulk up things. So for example, these arms, I'm gonna give him some sleeves. I'm gonna give his shirt some puffiness. He's gonna get some puffy pants. I'm gonna make his head a little bit bigger so it can touch his shoulders here. And then I'm gonna give him a hat by drawing a little line across. And then a nice rainbow shape on top. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in all the scarecrow parts. Next step, I am going to work on the hay that is kind of sticking out from the clothes. So I'm simply just going to flick my brush at the ends of, say, the sleeves, at the ends of the pants, and then also right underneath of the hat. Perfect. And that is my scarecrow. Next, I'm going to work on the fence that is over here on the right side. I'm going to start with the posts that are going straight down. So I'm going to draw 3 posts. They don't all have to be the same height. They could even have a slight curve to it because we want to give it like a spooky eeriness, right? And then we're going to draw the lines horizontally to connect those. There's 2 lines we're going to draw. Again, you can see like I'm gonna have one angled slightly different. Next, we're gonna go ahead and paint some easy birds first. So we're gonna be painting a bunch of little V shapes up in this top right corner of our painting. The birds are gonna start over top of our moon, and the V's get a little bigger and bigger each time. These are the easiest birds that you can paint. Perfect for beginners. And then we're gonna be painting 2 birds sitting on our scarecrow. So I'm gonna start by drawing a circle for the body, and then a little triangle back here for the tail, a smaller circle on top for the head, and a little tiny triangle in front of that for the beak, and then 2 little lines down for the feet. I'm going to do that again over here on top of the hat. This time I'm going to have the bird facing the same way. So he's kind of looking over his shoulder. Feel free to give the bird some little tail feathers if you want to have some flicks by the tail. And the last step here, we're going to be adding some blades of grass or reeds down here at the bottom of our canvas. You can either start at the top of your reed and then work your way down using very light pressure so it's nice and thin, or you can start at the bottom of your canvas and flick upwards. Whatever floats your boat, whatever's easier for you. Now that was the last and final step to creating your painting. You did it! Of course, before you clean up, don't forget to sign your name so everybody knows that you created this painting, you take ownership, feel proud of what you have created. And we would love to see what you are painting at home. Feel free to take a photo, post on social media, and tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check it out. Now, if you really love this tutorial, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can watch all the tutorials and make all the creations and paintings that your heart desires. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.